But this year's celebration is also especially important, not because we're gathering again, but because we have the distinct pleasure of welcoming our new Executive Vice Chancellor and University Provost, Wendy Hensel, who's only been here at CUNY with us for a short month. But in that short period of time, I think that CUNY was made for her, and she was made for CUNY through her incredible commitment to students, our commitment to our mission of access and excellence, which is so beautifully exemplified by the event that we're going to launch right now. So I am going to not steal any thunder, and I'm so incredibly pleased to introduce our new Executive Vice Chancellor and University Provost, Wendy Hensel, to bring welcome remarks.
So I have this great speech here, and I'm going to share it with you, but I'm going to start with the obvious question. Do you even know what an Executive Vice Chancellor is? Does anybody in this room know what that is? It's the Chief Academic Officer. And so at the heart of what I do is you. You are the reason I'm here and why I'm excited to come to work every day, even before I got to CUNY, but more so since I've been here. Because your journey and your success thrills me. And I'm so excited to see what you're going to do next. So I'm going to go back on my script, but I wanted to make sure that you knew that's my connection to being here, is your success every single day that I show up. And what a privilege. We were just talking about what a privilege it is to do something that makes your heart so happy. And you all are the reason for that. So it's absolutely my pleasure to welcome you today to this. This year's, all of you recipients of the Peter Jennings Scholarship Laurel Awards. It is an exciting opportunity to recognize 14 of you who have made the important decision to continue your academic journey at the City University of New York. Today, there are 11 of you who are new Jennings Scholars and 3 students who are receiving continuation awards. First, let me say that this kind of event is always a challenge to put together, and I'd like to particularly thank Ramon Tercero in the Language and the Literacy program, who worked tirelessly, and I believe that, over the last few weeks to put this together. Also, Stacey Evans, who leads the talented Central Office Adult Literacy team, and the the people who support our 14 campus-based programs across CUNY. Thank you to you as well. Special welcome. I believe we have some distinguished guests in attendance, including some college presidents. Thank you for making the time to be here today. I know for you, like me, this is why we do this, and a very exciting time. And a huge thank you to those of you who are our high school equivalency teachers who are here to celebrate the success of your students. For all of our appreciation for your dedication and passion, and for all that you do to help our students resume their education and make progress toward their very significant goals. I know that you, like your students, have met and faced significant challenges over the pandemic, not what we all signed up for. And you deserve to be commended for how you have helped these students achieve their dreams today. So thank you to you. The Peter Jennings Scholarship Laurel Awards provides $1,000 to HSE graduates who've demonstrated a strong commitment to your educational goals by earning an HSE diploma and enrolling at CUNY the following fall semester. This awards program was established in 2003 in honor of the late Peter Jennings, who served for more than 20 years as anchor of ABC's World News Tonight. And I'm going to insert here again, he was my favorite. He really was. I watched him every single night. Mr. Jennings' legacy is exceptional, not only because of his important work as a journalist, but also because of his non-traditional path to professional success. Like you, our award recipients today, he left high school without graduating and later returned to complete his academic career. For this reason, he was a longtime supporter of CUNY's adult literacy programs, and the Peter Jennings Scholarship Laurel Awards remains a meaningful tradition for this university and also for his family. It is my pleasure and honor to have his wife, Casey Free Jennings, here with us today. Please give her a round of applause. With the challenges brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic, we've worked together to create a deeper, longer lasting impact that moves beyond offering support to our HSE graduates as you enter college. In 2021, in consultation with and support by Casey Freed Jennings, we were very excited to introduce the Peter Jennings Continuation Scholarships. These are intended to assist prior Jennings Awards recipients and nominees who are continuing to work toward their degree goals at CUNY. This year, we made awards to a combination of students between first-time Jennings awardees and continuation scholarships, extending the impact of the Jennings Awards further into your college careers. For this, we are very grateful to the Jennings Foundation and his family for their ongoing commitment and generosity. So today we're all here to celebrate and get excited about this remarkable group of young people and men and women with ambitions of achieving a college degree. You came to CUNY's high school equivalency program with very different dreams and with different ideas about how it could shape your future. For some of you, it's to advance in your current job. For others, it may be to access a workforce training program. And for still others to move into new professional tracks with acquired credentials. But for our awardees today, the dream is to continue your education and pursue your college degree. All of that required incredible grit and determination, especially in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic. You succeeded under a myriad of challenging conditions. Some of you have family responsibilities. Many of you have economic hardships, like many people in New York, language barriers, first-generation attendance, and a host of other challenges that created hurdles that required you to decide with intentionality, this is what you really wanted to do. Students, your success in our program is a tremendous accomplishment. Your decision to continue that academic journey with us as CUNY students is one that I promise will open doors for you and help you make those dreams into a reality as you go forward. We know, we believe, we live every day that education changes lives. Peter Jennings believed that when he sought to support students like you at this moment, and it is the very heart of why we're here. Students like you deserve this opportunity. You are capable and talented on a timeline that is meaningful to you and in a way that works for you. There is simply no greater investment that you can make in yourself and in your family and in your future. So to all of you, our recipients, on behalf of CUNY's Office of Academic Affairs and the Chief Academic Officer, I offer you my sincerest congratulations. I am so excited for you and the journey that you continue or embark on. Your passion is strong, and I know your future will be bright, and I look forward to watching you as students. With much respect and appreciation, I wish you all the best, and it is now my pleasure to introduce Stacey Evans, University Director of Language and Literacy Programs, who will now moderate the rest of today's program. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'll take my mask off so you can all see what I actually look like. Not with my mask on. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm really excited to see you all. It's really great to be in a space with people and not just see little boxes on a screen. But I also want to welcome the people who are in boxes on the screen, the folks who are joining us over Zoom. We're really happy that you're able to be here as well. So it's my pleasure to welcome you all, and as Wendy just said, I'm Stacey Evans. I oversee the adult education programming for the university. Today, we are honoring these wonderful students who have earned their high school equivalency diploma. Some have already entered programs at CUNY, and some are about to enter programs at CUNY, and we are really excited that you are moving into that next stage. So I have this giant sheet of papers. Don't worry, I have very old eyes, so it's printed really large. Not that I'm going to read to you for 25 minutes. So today's award recipients shine as examples of perseverance and the importance of believing in yourself. They've stayed focused on their goals despite all challenges. I want all of you to know how much we admire you. Your instructors, your counselors and case managers, your tutors, your family members, your learning community, in your programs. We all admire you and your commitment to achieving your goals. The ceremony today, as Wendy said, is named for Peter Jennings. His professionalism and integrity are a lasting inspiration for everyone. And many people didn't know that he hadn't completed high school. And when I learned about that part of his story, it felt very personal to me. Many members of my family struggled to complete high school. My father and my brother both were not able to finish high school. My sister was bullied and faced a lot of violence and dropped out of high school before she completed. She was lucky because there was a counselor in her school who found an alternative program for her to attend so that she was able to get her high school equivalency diploma. My mother finished high school, but then had to drop out of college after the first year because she couldn't afford to continue. So the connection that I feel to adult education is personal and very strong. And I'm so impressed by all of you for persevering, making it through all of the challenges that you faced, and completing your high school equivalency, and now continuing into your college education. So just in my immediate family, the importance of programs like ours is clear. And it's part of the reason why I went into adult education in the first place, and it's what brought me here to CUNY so that I could work to support programs like our adult ed programs. So I'd like to give special acknowledgement and thanks to the teams who make up our HSE programs: campus program directors, counselors, case managers, tutors, program office staff, and of course, our superb teachers. Our teachers are wonderful, gifted educators with decades of experience and expertise in supporting student success by creating a learning environment that allows students to flourish. And I extend the same acknowledgement and thanks to our team of professional development specialists in the central office and our administrative support team: Eric Appleton, Kate Brandt, Leah Clay-Human, and Mark Truskowski, Arnita McKinley, Joan Stern, and Ramon Tercero. You all do so much to create and maintain an excellent practice in high school equivalency preparation here in the city and across New York State. And I offer another special thanks to Ramon, who has worked so hard to put our event together and who has been in regular contact with all of you to make sure that you've got all of your things in place to receive your awards. So now we've come to the heart of our ceremony, where we actually get to award you your Jennings Scholarships. So I'm going to introduce Casey Free Jennings. She is a journalist by trade who in recent years turned advocate for girls' education as founder of Girl Rising, a global nonprofit. Each of you has a Girl Rising book in your gift bag, so that'll give you more information about that work. Previously, Casey was a producer for ABC News based in London, Atlanta, and New York, where she covered international and national news events for virtually every news division broadcast. She later co-founded the Documentary Group, an independent production company. She currently serves on the board of WIN, New York City's largest provider of shelter for homeless families, and SOLA, the world's only boarding school for Afghan girls. She also sits on the Bridgehampton Child Care Center's advisory board and Girl Rising's advisory council. To our CUNY high school equivalency program, she is a great friend, and we are delighted to have her with us for this ceremony. Please welcome Casey Free Jennings.
So I say this every year, and every year it's true. This is about the best day of my year. I leave here, as Peter did when he used to give out these awards, feeling 20 feet off the ground, because he, like he was, am so in awe of what you all have achieved. And I hope you never, ever minimize that to yourselves, because what you have achieved is extraordinary. It's hard, and we know that. And especially it's been such a rough couple of years, as we all know. Rougher, as you know, for some than others, like for many of you who had to grapple with so many challenges that were compounded by the pandemic, yet here you are. We hear those words often, like resilience, determination, courage, grit, and they sometimes begin to sound like cliches, except when they're not. Like here today, when those words really come alive, and then they have just extraordinary power. Resilience, determination, courage, grit. You guys just exemplify that. And while your stories, each of them are personal and all of them are unique, what you all share those traits. And you all have faced and you've stared down struggles and barriers and people who would stand in your way. And that makes you part of a very, very special group. And this year, the members of that group range in ages from 23 to 51. Some of you were born right here in New York City. Others come from Yemen and Nigeria, Brazil and Mexico, Bangladesh, Antigua, the Bahamas. And I want to stop here for a second, because to those of you who emigrated here to this country, I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for choosing to come here. I cry every time I talk about this. But I mean it. It means so much to me that you chose to come here and that you're choosing to stay here. And I just want you to know. Sorry. I just want you to know that we want you here and we need you here. So again, thank you. Not long ago, I was talking to a friend who was orphaned as a child in Cambodia, and she grew up scavenging really to survive in a garbage dump. And at the time of our conversation, Soka was incredibly in her last year of college. She was also working full time, and she had with a goal of becoming a hotel manager. But she was also just a few months away from becoming a single mother, which seemed like it would present just one more daunting hurdle in her very complicated life. At least it did to me. But she looked me in the eye and she said very clearly, she said, I know it will be really hard, I know that, but I can do impossible things. And Soka was right. Today she's a college grad, she's a devoted mother, and she's the assistant manager at a Hyatt Regency club. I have another young friend, a young Nepali woman who was an indentured servant, basically a slave from the time she was 6 until she was 12 years old and liberated. When she was finally able to get a taste of education, she became determined to have more. Because with an education, she said, I feel like I have power. I feel like I can do anything. And I have important things to do. Suma is now in college at home in Nepal. And the reason I mentioned Soka and Suma is because they remind me of you. You, like them, have a drive to succeed despite the odds. And you, like them, can do and are doing impossible things. And you, like them, will do important things. And I know that because I'm really, really lucky. I get to read the nomination packets. So including your essays, so I know a little bit about you. And I just want to share a tiny bit, and you'll hear more when we present the awards themselves, because I think you're going to all see some of yourselves in each other. The order I'm doing this in, it once made some sense, but it doesn't anymore, so bear with me if I skip around a little bit. Things change. So Wendy, where are you? Hi, Wendy. So this is how Wendy Baptiste from Antigua described her tussle with math. Everything seemed so complex. I could not even explain what I did not understand. Well, obviously that didn't stop you. You kept at it until, as you put it, math no longer appeared to be from a different world. And though your goal when you started was simply to receive a high school diploma, ambition got the better of you, and you did whatever you needed to do, including disconnecting your table to cover the costs of getting to and from school. And academics, well, when you got stuck, you just looked for and found another way. I don't believe that the sky's the limit, you wrote. The sky is only the view, and there's so much more beyond the clouds to reach for. Henrietta, I think, are you on Zoom? Someone, maybe not. Henrietta, I'm gonna pronounce this probably wrong. Eghar Ava? I got that wrong. I apologize, Henrietta, if you're on Zoom or here. You described the experience of not finishing school as like losing my voice slowly until I could not speak anymore. So despite some imposing hurdles, including being mother to 4 children, one with special needs, you decided to get your voice back, and you just figured out how, starting with taking every little free education class given, then reading for 4 hours a night after your children were in bed. And as you put it, there's nothing to lose, but everything to gain. And at 49, you got your GED. Like your mother told you, no one is ever too old to get an education or to go to college. Gwath Al-Gahim, I get that right? I did right. Is another immigrant from Yemen. And by the way, I'm sure as we go through this, you'll all see a pattern here amongst our scholarship recipients. So politicians, if you're listening, politicians who write immigration legislation, please take note. Guaf, you came here with only a 6th grade education, but you learned English and then you shifted your focus to passing your GED. Your mother's illness slowed you down, but it didn't derail you. You discovered confidence and courage, and then you wrote. And this sounds a lot like Soka, who I was talking about before. I was able to achieve something I thought was unachievable. I never thought that I would be where I am today, a village girl who had minimal education to a new college student in America. Myrna Joseph from Queens, a local girl. Myrna worked 16 hours days, 6 days a week. And during COVID, her mother suffered a 4th stroke, forcing her to confront impossibly hard and painful decisions. But still, you kept working and you kept learning. And it's hard to imagine what it was to experience the joy that came with passing your exams, and at the very same time, the heartache of planning your mother's funeral. For someone who was born weighing less than 2 pounds, you are a very strong and powerful woman now. And compassion. I'm a caregiver at heart, and I would like to help others in the world you wrote. I want to pay it forward. And the local girl. You reflected on the poem by the great Langston Hughes. That's one of my favorite poems too. Life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It's had tacks in it and splinters and boards torn up and places with no carpet on the floor bare. But all the time it's been climbing on and reaching landings and turning corners. Even as you faced those torn up boards, the death of your father, the addiction of your mother, raised in difficult circumstances by an adoptive family. But as you say, you kept climbing. Langston Hughes' words and your perseverance is an inspiration to all of us. After being rejected from several high schools because you didn't complete school in Bangladesh, Maisha Mahazabin, did I get that right? Stopped dreaming. She said she accepted herself as a loser and took a job instead of going to school, every day taking a bus and sitting side by side with college students who she overheard talking about their studies. We were in the same bus, but the difference was our destination, she wrote. That would soon change. Maisha said about erasing the word dropout from your life. As you say, the sun rises after darkness, and now in your words, this girl is ready to fly, as her time is now. I just want to say, Peter knew Bangladesh very, very well, and he used to talk always about the colors in Bangladesh, and how they were the most beautiful in the world. And whether, I don't know if it was the sunset or sunrise, but one or the other, he said, were the most beautiful he had ever seen. And in fact, he sent his daughter off to Bangladesh one summer to work. Marcella Flores Tapia, I think you're on Zoom. I think, yes. Hi. Marcella immigrated here from Mexico as a teenager. As it is for too many, the urgent need to work interfered with her education. Still, she remained motivated by the words of her father. The only thing that can stop you from following your dreams is death. And so, Marcella, you woke up at 4:45 each morning, worked from 6:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. to classes from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. and finally got to bed around 11. That's 18 hours later, every day. And then COVID struck hard and you almost died. Absolutely nothing can stop me from following my dreams, you wrote. And since I was given another opportunity to live, I intend to make it count. Gabriella Tapskin is a fellow New Yorker and was thrown off course by math 10 years ago. And math, by the way, is a subject that still gives me nightmares, so I'm not kidding you. But that's what stood between you and your high school diploma. You wrote how the light at the end of the tunnel was dimmed. But what you've shown us is that no matter what the challenge is or how many, you won't let that light flicker out. Margaret Nola Abioro, I think I saw you there. Hi, Margaret. You said this, and I expect everyone else here would agree, that life shocks us in many ways we least expect. And you went on to write, that after immigrating to the US from Nigeria at age 19, the years passed by, some days slow, some days fast, until you asked yourself, what was your dream again, Margaret? If despite the pressures to prioritize work so you could send money home to your family in Nigeria, you focused and you refocused. My struggle and persistent nature have always been what I rely on, you wrote. My mantra is, if it won't come to me, then we'll go get it. This journey has not only taught me that I'm stronger than I thought it was, but that there's always a way as long as you have air in your lungs. Lamella Sachs, you're here too, I think, on Zoom? And you wrote that when you became a mother at 16 and a wife at 17, you put aside the goals and dreams you brought with her when you immigrated from Brazil. Those dreams, you said, slowly diminished like a candle in the night. You turned that around, though, vowing that the circumstance won't overcome who I am, that instead I will overcome every single circumstance. And so you did. If a woman who's raising 4 kids, 2 who are special needs, while being a stay-at-home mom and a full-time wife, can finish high school, then please know it's possible for anyone. You just need one person to believe in you, to push you, and the sky is the limit. Congratulations to all the first-time Peter Jennings Laurel Scholars, and now to the Continuation Awards. I'm so thrilled that this has become part of our initiative here. And I just know Peter would be as well. I first met Brittany Brown in 2018. As a single mother with 2 boys, you have faced and endured the challenges of living in a domestic violence shelter. It's never too late, you said then. I knew that all those years of being told what I could not do was about to be proven wrong. And now, 4 years later, you say those words still ring true. It's never too late. They helped me when I doubted myself, you wrote. Helped when I thought I was too old. They helped remind me that the only thing that can stop me from doing anything when I am determined is me. Gamora King couldn't make today, but she was living in a homeless shelter when is Gamora here online? No. She was living in a homeless shelter when she began her college journey. And when she gets her college diploma, she'll become a first-generation graduate. It's an awesome achievement, and it's an achievement I expect many of you will share, and all of us will celebrate. Gamora's goal today, like it was then, is to get a law degree. Attending law school might seem as simply another accomplishment to some, but to me it would mean an opportunity at a second chance, an opportunity to help others, a chance to acquire stability, and an opportunity to be the person that I always knew I could be, but was never given the chance to be. And finally, me and Lisa. I remember back in 2018, you told us that there were days you had studied over sleep, trained over food, but you always pushed forward. You faced down so many barriers, being a single parent, medical challenges, financial issues, discrimination, and of course, COVID. But like you said, you persevered, and soon you'll be graduating college and forward again to graduate school. You described a master's in equality. Yeah, it's great. You described this feeling as almost surreal. It may feel surreal, but this is the thing, it's real. Congratulations. And congratulations to all of you, those who Zoomed in, those who are here today. As Brittany, Gamora, and Mia have heard me say before, and as you've heard before, you've all done farther in school than Peter ever did. He was a high school dropout, who we could say actually got away with it. He never got a high school diploma, he never got a high school equivalency, or though sometimes it was written somewhere, so it seems like it, and he never got a college degree. But, and this is what's so important, Peter never stopped learning. He loved learning, and he relished it. As you've heard, he also fully believed that education is transformational, which is why he loved presenting these awards every year, as he did for so many. He understood, as Suma said, and what I quoted earlier, that education gives you power. It gives you a chance to control your own destiny, and it shapes the future, not only for you, but also for your children and for their children. So kudos to all of you. It's truly a privilege to be here today with you. So thank you for having me.
Thank you, Casey. So now we are going to present yours. I want to explain what the sort of movement process for this will be. I'm going to read a short bio for each of you. You're going to come up this way and get your award from Casey, and you can shake hands with everyone and go that way back to wherever you were sitting. So it's just like an oval process. Yes. And my able assistant is my boss, Jeanette Kim, who is Associate Dean here at CUNY. It's true. So our first award is going to be presented to Margaret Eniola Abioro, who is joining us on Zoom. Margaret completed her HSC working through the New York City College of Technology HSC program. She is attending the College of Staten Island. And I'm just going to read a little bit about Margaret. At 19, she dreamed of finishing high school and attending college in her native Nigeria. But when her family needed her to, she came alone to the United States to work and send her earnings home. I live and work for them, she told herself. Life in the new culture was lonely and difficult. After 3 hard years, she still remembered her dream. One night after a hard day at the office, she decided to act. Her high school papers weren't recognized in the US, so she would have to take the test. Studying for the test at New York City College of Technology while working full-time was stressful, but whenever it became especially difficult, Ms. Abioro would laugh and say to herself, consequences of your actions, Marge. A few weeks before the exam, Ms. Abioro's father passed away. Distraught, she blamed herself, questioning whether the tragedy was her fault for striving for something for herself. But she reminded herself of the risk she had taken in coming to the US in the first place. She pulled several all-night reading vigils, took the test, and passed. She has now been admitted to the College of Staten Island. Congratulations. Our first in-person awardee is Wat Agin, who attended the HSC program at Brooklyn College, and she is attending Kingsborough Community College. I am going to read a little bit about Wat. When Ms. Agin arrived in the US from Yemen as a teen, she had a 6th grade education. Starting out at Brooklyn College's ESL program, she was, as her counselor put it, shy as a mouse. However, each semester she greatly improved, and after climbing through the ESL side of the program, Ms. Agin wanted an equivalency diploma. In HSC class, Ms. Agin, in her teacher's words, blossomed as a group leader. Her progress was temporarily halted when her mother became ill, and she had to stop attending the program to care for her. But she returned to class, and even though she had forgotten some of the material, she pushed through all the difficulties. She passed the PASS exam and is now attending Kingsborough Community College. Ms. Agin's goal is to become an orthodontist. I just want to say, I know my smile is my orthodontist, so go. Our next recipient is Wendy Baptiste. She attended the HSC program at Lehman College Adult Learning Center and is moving on to Bronx Community College. At first, Ms. Baptiste struggled in her pre-HSC class. Learning long division seemed almost impossible, she writes, and I could never grasp the essence of the main idea. Then she heard her teacher say that reading connected to everything, and she began to read. She asked librarians for book suggestions, and in her words, I attended my own class that I developed for me. Within 2 months, Ms. Baptiste passed 3 subtests, but still had more to do. When she first started at the Lehman College Adult Learning Center, she admits that the word college terrified her. Once she got her bearings, though, Ms. Baptiste became a leader, forming a study group with classmates. She passed the PASS exam, attended CUNY Mass Start, and is now a first-year student at Bronx Community College. As a leader and advocate, Ms. Baptiste has returned to the Learning Center as peer mentor and tutor, and also started a book group for students. Her teacher writes, she reaches out to students who are falling behind, makes herself available outside of class, and does everything in her power to help. Ms. Baptiste is pursuing a career as a math educator for children with learning disabilities. Congratulations. Our next recipient is Melvin Cruz. Where did he go? He's hiding behind the photographer. Melvin completed his HSC at the College of Staten Island and is attending the College of Staten Island. Melvin came to this country from Mexico at age 10 and did not finish high school. A single father of 3, he found his children to be the inspiration for getting an education. Mr. Cruz knew he did not want to continue to work in a pizza shop to support a family at $10 or $12 an hour. Just as important, he wanted his children to appreciate the idea of education. It was not easy. Mr. Cruz took class in the morning when his children were in school or daycare and did homework from 8 o'clock when his children went to bed until midnight. It helped that he was never afraid to ask questions or be wrong. When he went to take the task exam, he only needed to pass 3 subjects. To his surprise, he passed all 5 on his first try. He is now attending the College of Staten Island. Our next awardee is maybe on Zoom, Henrietta Egareva. Or maybe not. Ah, yes, yay.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Good, I'm over here. Henrietta attended the HSC program at Borough of Manhattan Community College, and she is attending Hostos Community College. A full-time mother of 4, one of whom is a special needs child, Ms. Egareva embarked on her educational journey because she wanted to find her voice, be a role model for her children, and contribute financially to her family. In her words, when she started class at the NCC, she was like a fish tossed in the ocean with no fins, not knowing how to swim. But Ms. Egareva began to read 4 hours a day. She found that she understood more every day and was even able to help her 10th grader with math. An additional impediment to her studies came when her mother was diagnosed with cancer, and Ms. Egareva had to take care of her. But they scheduled the doctor's appointments for days when Ms. Egareva did not have class, and she persisted. Her confidence grew when her poem was selected by the Symphony Space All Right program, and again when she received an HSC diploma at the age of 49. Ms. Egareva is now at Hostos Community College, earning a degree in nursing. She wants to give a voice to the voiceless and a smile to those who have forgotten how to smile. Congratulations, Henrietta.
Thank you.
Our next awardee is Myrna Joseph, who attended the HSC program at your college and is going to be attending your college. As Ms. Joseph's teachers write of her, the odds were stacked against her from the beginning. Ms. Joseph was born prematurely, and until the age of 12, she required a tracheotomy to breathe. When she was still a teenager, her mother had a severe stroke, and from among her siblings, Ms. Joseph was left as caretaker. During the pandemic, even as her mother's health deteriorated, Ms. Joseph attended class, worked 16-hour days, 6 days a week, as a direct support professional in a group home, and supervised her mother's care. Difficult decisions had to be made. Should she place her mother in a nursing home? Should she continue with her own education, or just quit her job at school and care for her mother? Ms. Joseph's mother passed away 4 days before she sat for the TASC exam. Right after the exam, Ms. Joseph began to plan her mother's funeral. She wants to study respiratory therapy at your college because, as she herself writes, I am a caregiver at heart. Congratulations. Our next awardee is Annette Haley. Annette attended the HSC program at Brooklyn College and is attending Kingsborough Community College. Ms. Kelly's life has not been an easy climb. She lost her parents at a very young age, and the foster family she was placed with did not support her efforts at school. Ms. Kelly remembers her older foster sister telling her she would never be anything in life because she couldn't read. In my heart, writes Ms. Kelly, I had to change that. Becoming a mother at 17 further delayed her education, but she writes that in the back of my mind, getting a GED kept haunting me. At her job, the demand that she do double shifts meant that she sometimes had to miss class, and was threatened with the possibility of getting dropped from her class at the Adult Learning Center. But Ms. Kelly did not give up. On her second try, she passed the TASC exam, then enrolled at Kingsborough Community College. With her fear of writing, Ms. Kelly's first English class was, in her words, an experience. But once again, Ms. Kelly did not give up. She now has a 3.2 GPA. Congratulations. Next is Maisha Mahazani, who attended the HSC program at York College and is attending the City College of New York. Ms. Mahazani left high school in her native Bangladesh and came to the United States with a dream of studying abroad. When she was rejected from several U.S. high schools because of her age, she began to ask herself, Maisha, what did you do? Did you destroy your future and your career? After some time in the U.S. working at a job that was, as she describes it, clock in, clock out, Ms. Mahazani found the York College Adult Learning Center. More than anything, she wanted to erase the word dropout from her life, but she struggled with reading, social studies, and English grammar. Through her own dedication and the support of her parents and teacher, Ms. Mahazani earned her diploma after 6 months of study, passing the test on her first try. She is now pursuing a BS in computer science at City College of New York. She wants to establish an IT firm. Ultimately, she wants to run an NGO for women who need support to complete their education. Congratulations. Our next awardee is on Zoom. It's Ludmila Sachs, who's there. Oh wait, she just disappeared. There she is. Ludmila attended the HSC program at LaGuardia Community College and is attending LaGuardia Community College. At 17, Ms. Sachs became a mother and put her family ahead of herself. 10 years later, she found herself the mother of 4 children, including 2 who were special needs. And one who's on camera right now. Super cute. But Ms. Sachs was determined to reach her goals. If quarantine taught me anything, writes Ms. Sachs, it's the importance of multitasking. I learned to cook with one hand while feeding a child with the other. Her achievements testify to her multitasking abilities. As her counselor writes, Ms. Sachs not only showed up to class consistently and actively participated, but also went out of her way to help other students, translating instructions in Spanish during a test. When she found out that she had passed the task, she writes, I rejoice because I finally did it. I am a high school graduate. I'm smart enough. I am enough. Ms. Sachs is in the health science program at LaGuardia Community College on her way to becoming a pediatric nurse. Congratulations. Our next recipient is Marcela Flores-Tapia, who is also on Zoom. Marcela attended the HSC program at Borough of Manhattan Community College, and she will be attending Borough of Manhattan Community College. Ms. Tapia knew she needed something better than cleaning someone's home or cleaning up construction sites, but she had so much working against her. Having emigrated from Mexico at 15 and not yet fluent in English, low-paid jobs were all she could get. When Ms. Tapia's mother came from Mexico to stay with her, she was overjoyed. But then her mother's diabetes left her partially paralyzed, and Ms. Tapia had to spend her college savings on her mother's medical bills, in addition to working 2 full-time jobs. Once enrolled in HSC class at Borough of Manhattan Community College, Ms. Tapia rose at 4 a.m. to work a 10-hour day, then attended 3 hours of evening class. In spite of her exhaustion, Ms. Tapia's teacher writes, she was always attentive and gladly collaborative. During the pandemic, Ms. Tapia almost died of COVID. When she recovered, HSC classes were online, and although she had no computer, only a phone, Ms. Tapia persisted. With an interest in social justice, Ms. Tapia's dream is to become a criminal defense lawyer. She is now attending college and plans to graduate, work as a mediator, and get into law school. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Some days earlier, some of us were talking about the fact that it helps to read these bios before we come to the event, because then we can cry in private and I have to do it at the microphone. But it doesn't always work. Sometimes I still want to cry while I'm standing here. I'm trying to hold it together. Our next awardee is Gabriela Taxi, who attended the HSC program at Ross Community College Adult Learning Program, and she has applied to Brooklyn College. Here's what Ms. Haskins wrote of her high school graduation. It was a beautiful day, and I was surrounded by my fellow graduating class, friends, and family. The only problem was that I had failed 11th grade math and did not receive my diploma. 10 years passed, during which Ms. Saskian tried studying on her own or hiring tutors, but to no avail. Finally, Ms. Saskian was able to enroll in HSC classes at Bronx Community College's Adult Learning Center. Once there, she became heartbroken when faced with another setback. She would not qualify for the New York State pass waiver, which would have allowed her to earn a diploma with only 3 subjects passed. Nevertheless, with the support of teachers and after months of studying and hard work, Ms. Saskian received the news that she had passed the test and earned a diploma. Currently working with an accounting firm that has assisted her in her career path, Ms. Saskian is pursuing an accounting degree at Laurel College. Congratulations. And now for our continuation award recipients. First is Brittany Brown, who attended the HSC program at the City College of New York and is now at the School of Professional Studies, studying nursing. It's never too late, our words Brittany would sigh. She hears those words as a reminder whenever she has doubt about her goals or when she wonders if she's too old to strive for something new. After earning her HSC diploma, Brittany enrolled at Borough of Manhattan Community College. Her goal was to become a registered nurse, and the Applied Science Associate degree from the MCC was an important step on that path. Brittany graduated from the MCC with her associate degree last June, and in August, she passed the licensing exam for nursing, the NCLEX exam, and she is now a registered nurse. Hard work and perseverance have made Brittany's motto of "It's never too late" true for her. And she's not done. Brittany is currently enrolled at the School of Professional Studies, working on her Bachelor's of Science degree in nursing. Congratulations. And our second continuation award recipient is not able to join us today, Kimora King. She completed the HSC at York College and is attending York, and she's studying psychology and minoring in pre-law. Kimora has overcome obstacles that could easily have stopped her in her tracks and is now on the path to becoming the first college graduate in her family. Studying in York College's HSC program helped her get started. She learned she had the determination to keep moving forward, the ability to manage her time and priorities, and the ability and knowledge to successfully complete her coursework. When she earned her HSC diploma and enrolled in college, Kimora and her daughter were homeless. Managing shelter life and the responsibilities of mothering could have kept Kimora from continuing her studies, but she persevered. She has recently moved into permanent housing and is already working toward her next educational goal, earning a law degree. Her goal is to shift the perception of the justice system through her service in the field, working with those most in need. Congratulations to Kimora. And our final continuation award recipient is Mia Nicer, who completed the HSC program at LaGuardia Community College and is attending Lehman College. She is studying sustainable design and environmental strategic marketing. Mia has worked past numerous obstacles to pursue her educational and career goals. Through everything, she stayed focused on her studies. She considers her time in LaGuardia Community College's HSC program instrumental in preparing her for college. The program helped her adjust to being in school again and learn to meet the challenges of taking care of her children as a single parent while working and taking classes. LaGuardia's tutoring, community, and student supports made all the difference. She earned her HSC diploma. Since earning her HSC diploma, Mia has gone on to study at Lehman College and will soon graduate with a Bachelor of Science degree in Interdisciplinary Studies. She is focused on sustainable design and environmental strategic marketing. Her goal is to focus on sustainability and protecting the environment. Congratulations. So, obviously, it is, as Casey said, like the best day when we get to do these awards, because getting to learn more about each of you, getting to meet all of you, it's so special and so important, and I feel super lucky to get to be part of our adult ed program so that I get to support the programs that supported you. And I want to thank Casey and Wendy and Donna for being here today and helping to present the awards. And I want to say another congratulations to all of you and invite everyone to give another round of applause for all of our winners.
Melvin out for some reason, and I just want to apologize because I have really great things to say about it. So I want to apologize to you.
Because we have all these papers, and sometimes it gets confusing.
Sorry.
there's more. Sorry, that's right. I'm jumping the gun to get you to the coffee. Maybe I need coffee. The next thing, we aren't done yet. Everybody sit down. The next thing is that Leisha Leslie is going to give us some remarks. Everybody, please welcome Leisha.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a big pleasure to share this beautiful afternoon with all of you. Welcome to 19th Peter Jennings Laurel Award Scholarship Ceremony. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude to have been selected to receive this prestigious award and to present to ATC students. This accomplishment is something that I did not do alone. There are some people to share in this award. At first, I would like to thank my parents for giving me continuous support. They are not here, but I know they will be watching me. Thank you, Abu Ammo. I call my mom and dad Abu Ammo, for always believing in me and letting me do that moves me. And I also like to thank my friends, two of them are here right now, Nazir Jahan and Sumaya Nawaz. Thank you guys for sharing. Now, I would like to thank Ms. Peter Jennings for honoring us today and continuing the legacy of Mr. Jennings, who started this award to inspire the students to live up to their full life and potential. And I would also like to thank Ms. Wendy Hansels, CUNY's Executive Vice Chancellor and University Provost, for making this afternoon even more wonderful with her presence. And as a CUNY student, I am thankful for her contribution to the CUNY family, because it has helped me to shape my academic journey more. And personally, I would like to say that your personal accomplishment has also inspired me as a woman. Additionally, I also like to thank all my fellow recipients, scholarship recipients. We all need it. With your dedication and struggle to proving yourself and making a powerful impact in your life and society. To begin, CUNY has provided a high school equivalency preparation program at 14 of its campuses more than 30 years, offering a crucial pathway into higher education and new and better forms of employment for thousands of undeserved New York City residents. I was enrolled in one of the program centers, my York College Learning Center. When I moved to this country, I couldn't complete my high school. At the time, I was told by many people that this is not the right time to go abroad and pursue a study. But I knew what I was doing. I want to face those challenges. So without further thinking, I just came to this country and started my journey with my York College Learning Center. I clearly remember when I first stepped into the York College Learning Center, all the staff, all the instructors have embraced me with warm love. Yeah. Especially, I want to thank Mr. Scott William and Mr. Sean William. They helped me a lot. Mr. Sean William was he's still my mentor. So Mr. Sean William has always motivated me when I become discouraged. Each time when I got my homework or assignment, he used to write freaking awesome in the bold letters, which inspired me a lot. I also like to thank my GED classmates. They are not here right now, but they are connected with me, so they are also watching this. When I enrolled in the ATC program, my goal was to graduate in one try to erase the word dropout from my life, to show the loser me how strong I am. And I'm very thankful to York College Learning Center for not only to provide guidance for my academic career, but also to help me to grow as a skilled person. Later, I studied 1 year at York College in computer science, where I met some amazing professors who later helped me to transfer to City College, which is my dream college, as a computer science major. Here I got various opportunities that CUNY provides, CCNY provide. Currently, I'm working closely with my computer science department as a college assistant to provide IT support. Lastly, I would like to say that with the assistance of this scholarship, we are now more encouraged to achieve our further goals to make a positive impact in the society. I would like to add that education is very important no matter what. There is no substitution of receiving education. As a woman, I also want to like to add that we women faces challenges every day, and we are not afraid of that. By pursuing our higher education, we will boost up our confidence more. And also, we must dream big. Sometimes we ask very limited things from God, but He has written more than that for us. So when we are praying something, we have to pray big. So because yeah, that's why we have to be big, because you don't have to pay tax for that. Yeah. So thank you for having me, and enjoy your afternoon.
Speech. Oh my goodness, that was a fantastic speech. And I have absolutely no doubt that we are in the future going to be hearing about this program that is going to help women because this is the person who can make it happen. So thank you, Aisha, that was fantastic. And thank you all. And now I will invite you to have coffee and cookie. Thank you everyone for coming.
Congratulations.